We are back ahead of Game 3 in our first best-of-3 series of the day here at the StarLadder Minor. One of these two teams is going home, and it is all on the line in one more game. Joined once again by Winner and Lizard on the panel. Guys, I do want to start at the beginning in that one because the early game looked really impressive for Business Associates, but as time went on, at 25 minutes, it really looked like, boom, we're going to close out the series.
Winter has said it, I said it as well. When you're starting a draft like that with the Shaker, with the Mars that doesn't go for a Blink Dagger, you're gonna struggle a little bit in the laning stage, and after that you might not find your place. And that's pretty much what happened for BOOM. Once they got those Blink Daggers on the Shaker, on the Mars, suddenly team fights did change, and that's where we saw that huge turnaround on the high ground happen.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest kill possibly of the early game was there was a very early solo kill by the 9 Void Spirit on the opposing TA, and that really set the tone for that mid lane. The Void Spirit, it was like the Storm Spirit game yesterday, where it looked at one point like 9 was just going to own this match from start to finish.
I mean, that mistake was actually even more severe considering the sequence of the picks, because they picked the TA after the Void Spirit, expecting the Void Spirit to not have such a good time. And obviously TA is also a hero that requires to have a good start. And because he didn't have a good start, it sort of like made the game so difficult for them. And on top of things, I think it was a pretty good decision for Business Associate to go for aggressive tri-lane with the Lich Disruptor and the Wraith King. They were able to slow down the Troll. And on top of things, the StarLadder was able to do relatively well against the Mars as well. So all in all, that was like a really good decision for them. And they won the mid lane somehow. So they won all, they did really well all 3 lanes.
You know, arguably, you saw just a moment ago, the highlight before this one, that 36-minute fight on the Dire bottom lane high ground was kind of the big game changer. That was the first bad Mars ulti of the game, and you saw just how dependent BOOM was on the both legs of that combo. But yeah, 9, I mean, 14-3 and 13, from start to finish, he looked like the most impactful hero in this match. It really was before that, though, that BOOM had a pretty big lead at 25 minutes, and Business Associates started to chip away even before that high ground defense.
Yeah, they were doing... this game went back and forth. Starting from the laning stage that went badly for BOOM, then they clawed back into the game after the Blink Daggers were done. Then Business Associates got the lead once again. I really like this game because it's a great interlude to Game 3. And I love that we're going to have full series here because one of these teams is going to be eliminated, and it feels at least a little bit better if you go all these games. If you play
this
full
is
series.
the reason why we said that the draft this time is more 50-50-ish, and you can see in the game it's very back and forth. Both teams feels like they have chances to, yeah, sure there are mistakes, but both team has a lot of tools to take the team fights, and obviously a lot of the highlights will be on the Shaker. He did like a really good combo with the Fissure into the Echo Stem, which allowed them to defend the high ground, prolong the game. But I think the issue that they have to try to fix, if I'm BOOM, is how do I avoid being in second pick, and if I pick my mid laner, after the enemy pick their mid laner, I have to make sure that the lane must go better than that. Because I think a lot of, I'm not trying to blame it all on him, but I think a lot of the difficulties that they faced in the game was because the Void Spirit snowballed too fast. He got such an early lead, and it made it very difficult for the other lanes to play because he could just rotate and kill all of them.
Like, even when they try to help the TA, that's the worst part. They try to help her. They rotated in with 2 heroes. Void Spirit does die, but before he dies, he gets the kill on the TA.
Yeah. And all of this is because of the early start that he had. If he didn't have the early start, they might have been able to kill him first.
And it's you talked about 9, and is he able to be this win condition for them? When you give him a game such as this one, any playmaking hero can do it, right? 9 on your Storm Spirits, on your Void Spirits, can carry the game on his back if you give him such a good start.
Yeah, and it feels like so many of the other problems that we've talked about with their team execution, with some of the role identity, all of those just sort of fall away when you have 9 off to that kind of a start. There's this sense of resiliency, even when they lose a fight, when they know that 9 is having a great game like he was, it looks like they're not falling apart just because of one bad engagement.
Yeah, but still, like overall, I think both teams played relatively well throughout the game, despite having mistakes here and there. I think we're gonna see an exciting last game to decide the match.
Now, I think the one thing, if I'm sitting there on the side of Business Associates, the one thing that you still have to be concerned about is there's still the BKB timings were still a little bit questionable. They didn't play around the mid-game power spikes like you like to see in a lot of top teams. They weren't able to convert those big engagements. Again, you know, Wraith King, Spectre, they're putting Moo on these heroes that are not necessarily BKB carries. But I still feel like you need to be able to play around those big items in the mid-game a little better.
I mean, you're putting him on these heroes that necessarily aren't his heroes overall. So
Yeah,
there's sometimes,
that's the concern.
Yeah, there's still some time to adapt, to become a little bit better overall with all your item timings. But most importantly, communication and discipline. If someone needs an item, you need to wait for that. You can't take these fights when you have Mithril Hammer and you have a recipe, but not that, you know, not that last part, and you still go into the fight.
Yeah.
It's
Talk to me a little bit, though, because I know this is something that you watch for, Losers. Talk to me a little bit about the support play in the series, because we've talked extensively about the core players. Mikoto, obviously, the 10K MMR, you know, 9 keys, so much of what BA is trying to do. But the support matchup has been really interesting.
obviously on one side, we have talked about the Shaker extensively, and he was literally what brought him back into that game. That high ground defense, they didn't win the game in the end, but it did stall the game quite a lot. He got that dagger, suddenly a few echoes, and everything is possible. On the other side, you did have a Disruptor put up a decent performance. He was catching TA many times with those glimpses.
23-minute Ags helps, right?
And Aghanims at 23 minutes as well did help. It was, funnily enough, after getting that Aghanims, his ultimates weren't truly always on point. By the time Kinetic Field is out, a hero that's caught in the static storm is already forced away.
Sure. It's definitely fun to play Disruptor when you're ahead, you know, when you win all your lanes.
It's the ultimate snowball support.
You always want to play Disruptor when you're ahead. That you don't want to be the team that's defending with the Disruptor. You want to be catching. You want to be searching for these kills. You want to be always on a hunt.
Yeah, I think it really makes a lot of sense right now because they have been prioritizing picking this hero a lot. And we were discussing a little bit about whether it's worth to pick the Disruptor a lot earlier. And I start to understand why they like the hero. Because they are a team, so far, has been always doing really well from the early game. They win their lanes. That's what we know. They've been doing well all yesterday and today. And Disruptor allows them to win the lanes and continue snowballing.
I think that's an important point.
I'm always talking about these rotations within the meta itself. Even before the patch hits, you see some heroes fall out of favor and some others come back into play because certain counters get picked more often. Disruptor, he stopped being picked because there were heroes that would literally just destroy his Thunder Strike in the laning stage. First and foremost, that was one way people would approach the countering of the Disruptor, right? You would have your Abaddons, Legion Commanders, Oracles. Now when these heroes aren't necessarily picked as much, suddenly Disruptor is also a strong laner.
They are also because of the small changes that were in the patch about glimpse, how the mechanics work.
Yeah, you can't dodge it.
And now they change it back to before, so Disruptor has been, I mean, a little indirectly nerfed, but I think this hero is like a super comfortable pick for business associates.
And I really like the adjustment here by business associates in general, where supports have been such a factor in the first phase in their recent drafts, and they ban out 3 support heroes here. And you're going to see the first phase Void Spirit out of Boom this time.
You're going to see a response on that mid lane instantly now from business associates. They only have to be careful because this Void Spirit doesn't necessarily have to be mid.
I was just going to, that was the hero that I expected to see.
Exactly. I was thinking either Storm Spirit or Monkey King coming from them. They grab the Storm Spirit. Now,
and in their hero pool, Monkey King's usually
is it
safe
possible
lane.
that the Void Spirit is an offlane hero? Have you tried it before? I've seen it before, but I'm not sure if it's.
Well, that was when I
thing.
first saw it. When it first was released, that was where I was seeing it mostly in pro
you
matches.
can see teams even put it on position 4 sometimes.
But is it good? It doesn't feel that good.
It isn't great. On the major, we have seen. Not on the major, on Mad Moon, we've seen Razor's position 5 as well. So, you know,
how'd that work?
If you're bold enough, anything can be a position 5 or 4, but sometimes it doesn't really work.
All right, so you expect to see this is winner's concept of the 10th pick being the most protected pick of the draft. You expect to see business associates use their next 2 bans to ban out mid matchups that they don't want to see against the Storm.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, and Boom just bans out the heroes that they expect from business associates, such as the Lone Druid.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see the Lone Druid get through too many drafts, especially if it's not picked in the first phase from here on out. That's looked too good in the hands of too many different
but again,
teams.
for Boom, I think the same issue is going to be it has to be addressed by them. They can't allow the mid lane to... Because Storm is again a similar hero with Void Spirit, where if you let the Storm get too good of a start, he's just going to single-handedly kill everybody and just snowball and win the game.
Yeah, you can draft accordingly though, right?
Yeah.
There are ways to draft versus the Storm on your other supports and cores.
And that was kind of what I was thinking when I brought up potentially banning the mid lane matchups. I mean, it's not just about the hero versus hero matchup, even if it is going to be Void Spirit mid. It's you got to think about, are they going to go back for an Earthshaker again here, a hero that can roam and threaten the mid lane early on? Kill that storm before level 6.
I'm more thinking about whether they try to, mislead business associates, make them think that the Void Spirit is going mid, but because they have the 22 pick, the last pick, and they use something else to...
Well, they're not being baited. So far, they have banned out 2 mid heroes. Arguably, Puck can be your 4 as well, or even offlane, but that Prophet, when you see that hero, usually it is the mid lane.
Yeah, so they are actually thinking that this Void Spirit could be an offlane hero, and they're going to pick something else to lane against the Storm.
But is this like insta-pick Shaker here for BOOM? I mean, you saw what it did in the last game.
Not very sure though. Possible, but the Earthshaker, like we said, has a weakness in the lane, so he's not that strong in the lane.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
and if you have matchups that are not so favorable and he cannot roam and set up kills in the other lane, then the hero feels very useless.
In this game, however, it would be a little bit easier for him to rotate on that mid lane. If you're a Shaker and you rotate mid versus these heroes such as Mirana, Queen of Pain, Void Spirit that can just
That's a stun. Basically, you have a stun.
You have a stun and a block.
Oh, there we go. I really like that. That's a little bit of flex value too.
Is that a Mikoto hero?
Could be a position 4 hero, I think. I think overall, most likely it's going to be position 4. And
they have run it. They've got 4 games on Tiny in this patch, and all 4 of them are position 4.
Because the Tiny presents a lot of threat at the early game against the Storm, you can just easily rotate and toss him over and get a kill. I think this is one of the few ways that you have to make sure that when the enemy picks a greedy mid hero early, like a Storm that is vulnerable or Shadowfiend, you need to have a position 4 hero that has kill potential on the hero in the early game to try to slow him down.
I think this Shadow Shaman also answers the Void Spirits a little bit. You always need more catch versus him, so Shadow Shaman with the Hex, with the Shackles comes definitely.
But do you think he's like a greedier position 5 here?
Yeah.
Or maybe he's a 4. Actually, maybe he's a 4.
He can be 4 as well. That's true. Maybe it's even better to put him on 4 here so that he can go for.
Because he needs the items, right, to catch.
He needs a blink. He needs a blink in this game.
He needs to be rich.
Yeah.
End of story.
I think the Shaman needs more farm than the Disruptor does.
But now that I see Legion Commander, even if he's 4, I'd rather see the Disruptor roll on the offlane together with someone, perhaps.
So everything is set in stone for BOOM. The Void Spirit is mid, LC is offlane, they're just going to last pick their carry. So I guess right now it's about the lane matchup again. Because they prioritize the lane a lot. They see the LC, maybe they want to pick the Troll for themselves so that they can do well on the lanes. But I don't know if Troll is
I think you need a slightly harder carry, don't you?
You could go for what? For business associates?
No, I don't think they need too hard of carry. Storm can carry. Oh, you mean for BOOM? Yeah, BOOM needs a hard carry, but for business associate,
you
they
could
can
even
have
go for a monkey versus Legion Commander.
That's possible too.
You could even, just versus Legion Commander, it would be good.
And remember, in their last draft, they last picked their offlaner.
As long as the pick does well in the lane, I think it will be suitable for how business associates have been playing so far. They want to do well in the lanes, snowball, they have glimpse, they have storm, they chase you, they run at you, they kill you, and there's a shaman to take the towers.
They can be very aggressive, but you are playing versus a Tiny who is pretty tanky. You have Grandma.
Yeah, there's the monkey. I think that's the easy pick there, because no matter what at this point for BOOM, 2 out of your 3 cores in lane are going to be meleeers. So you're going to be able to get a melee versus melee matchup with the Monkey King.
You're most likely going to get one versus Legion Commander.
Yeah.
And it should be all right for them.
I guess they'll pick the Brew this time since there's no StarLadder. I think they just need like a frontline teamfight hero to round up their draft. Tide,
I mean, Mars is still in the pool.
Oh yeah, Mars is fine also.
But they also have run Tide quite a bit. They like that hero.
Yeah, Brax likes the hero.
Yeah.
What are you thinking for BOOM here? I think BOOM. My big question here is what's going to be Boom's last pick because they really need some carry potential here.
Some AM? I don't know.
Oh my God. Do you think AM gets to play Dota though?
Not sure.
I don't think if you pick AM here, I don't think he gets to play.
They need
Dota
a very
in this
hard
game.
carry. That's it. Like a very hard carry.
And I think PL is.
PL doesn't do so well against Storm. Storm
Against
is
Storm,
very,
yeah.
very, very good against PL.
Yeah, fair enough. You still got Morphling on the table.
Not bad, decent.
So many disabled.
Yeah,
as
I'm just
well.
I just
Yeah.
hate the Shaman.
That's a really nice offlane pick. He's such a great enabler for the other two cores. And it really addresses you worry about, you needed something fairly beefy because you've got two very squishy supports. Good call on the AM, but man, does he even get to participate in the game?
But he's gonna get a good lane. AM lanes very well against Omni Knight, and you have to save your mana white for Storm.
Do they have the ability to isolate him against Omni though? Or do they have the ability to ensure that he's against Omni?
That's the job of the other 4 heroes, to hold the game and to create the scenario to allow the AM to win the game for them.
I think if you're business associates, you approach that lane in a way that you're not really laning versus the anti-mage. You're just trying to creep, skip, mess with the
Right.
lane equilibrium, perhaps push the lane in, do these kind of gimmicks. You aren't really trying to win that lane. And we might even see another support just leave that Omni Knight alone, or perhaps the position 4 could be the one that's actually pulling the creeps away.
Yeah, but this time I think I will favor business associates for having a easier to execute draft to win the game. I feel like their lineup is like they have more opportunities against Boom, against the AM.
Not only is it easy to execute for them, I think they're in their full comfort zone, and that's something that I always value quite a lot. You have Moon, his Monkey King, you have Storm Spirit 9. Yeah, I have to lean on their side a little bit as well.
How the tables have turned. Our panel now in the corner of business associates, the NA squad, the victims of a 2-1 reverse sweep yesterday. They're trying to turn the tables here. We're going to see which of these two teams can go on in this tournament one more time out to Toby1 and Kyle.
One more time indeed. Hi guys, welcome to our last third match decider. Who goes home? Who gets to stay for another game later on today? We'll find out.
On the bright side, the losers, you get to hang out in Kyiv for an extra 3 days, one of my favorite cities. Could be worse. What?
I'm just thinking of
You just keep leaving me out to dry. Like, if I was drowning in the ocean, you on the boat, you would lackadaisically throw me in the life preserver and do it begrudgingly, Toby.
I would throw you like a piece of wood so you can hang on there like Kate did.
I thought you were going to say
As
like a
Leo
block of
went down to the
concrete.
depths of the ocean.
Oh, man, there's plenty of room for both of them on that plank.
There really was. Like, it's just like, oh, no, my arm's just too
And
weak.
also,
We'll
am
pull
I
him
the
up.
only one? Like, I'm just saying, like, you met this girl a couple of days ago. You know?
Would you
And
give your life for someone you met a couple of days ago?
No, I'm saying, like, wouldn't you just, like, shove her right off that plank and take it for yourself? Like, come on. I'm saying what you're all thinking.
Ladies,
You all
he's
believe-
available.
You all
He's
think
available.
everyone thinks they'd be the hero. But when it comes down to crunch time, just saying, you don't know.
Well, it came to crunch time for him, and he was a gentleman and a scholar. Less of a scholar, just more of a gentleman.
Should drop the damn pendant in the ocean. It was so lame.
And they showed a different version of that too.
I
which-
know,
where-
that one's even worse. I've seen it.
like, yeah. Cringe. All right. So to the game, let's talk about some Dota and less about Titanic and sinking ships because both teams want to stay afloat in this tournament. Smooth transition. Boom. They went for the last pickup, anti-mage, and we were asking the question like who would end up in what lane, who's going to be where, and I'm looking at some old Scorne kind of style. This is anti-mage going towards the mid lane, Legion to the bottom, and Void to the off for Boom. And that's going to put AM versus Storm. That's going to put
Interesting.
Void versus Omni, and then Monkey versus Legion.
So the thing is, we were saying, you want to put the monkey against the AM. So Boom are going to try and do everything in their power to prevent that matchup because Moo would absolutely dominate it. Mid versus
wait,
Storm,
they-
you take that.
They've switched it. AM's now heading towards the top lane. AM just did a small little body block at the very beginning. Is that because, yeah, they saw the Omni Knight up on top, so instantly they move AM up there.
That's the right play. As long as you can avoid the monkey, you are good to go. And yeah, in a 3-on-1 scenario against the Omni, it's just, you know, they sniff out the aggro tri-lane. This is to be expected. And it's the downside of being the team that needs a lane matchup. It's much easier to avoid one than it is to get it, because you always got multiple different places you can go. But MoOz now, not quite sure what they'll like to do. They have lane control, so we will be utterly dominant up here, but top, same deal. And I'd much rather have a free farm in AM than a monkey.
I'm gonna say, do you walk it? Do you TP it? Because you just know they're gonna switch instantly as well. So like, how do you get the upper hand here if you're BA?
Speaking of mid lane,
Yeah, you just actually do this instead. Rotate Disruptor up against the Void Spirit. He'll have to burn some consumables for this, and just short by just over 100 gold for his bottle. So it hurts on the rotation, and that's all.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like, bottom lane, MoOz in trouble. Wow.
Yeah, he's copping a lot of damage. Gonna toss him back down again. No Boundless Strike, no nothing. The overwhelming onslaught of extra movement speed needs now one more attack, and that will actually be first blood going the way of Fear, who actually killed Hyde in the back lines with the Ether Shock, giving him the damage he needs. So
Could be worse for sure, but my, again, concern is up top, AM versus Omni. This matchup has to change. You can't leave Brax up here. It's just not going to work out. Bottom, as you can see, LC, one of the better melee heroes, if not the best, to go up against a monkey, because you're one of few that can trade effectively. You've got a spell that deals damage, and you've got the proc effect. So you also get lifesteal and extra attacks of your own. Most other heroes just kind of get forced out, but monkey also only 2 base armor, so very weak to trading hits, especially if there's a high burst damage hero like Tiny behind.
Nine's really trying to stand his ground here in the mid lane, but this top lane's become a little bit of a disaster. Brax was even missing out on almost... he managed to get there in time to grab the creep wave, but he almost lost an entire wave to a pull. And he's already struggling enough.
Yep. So Monkey, Storm do both have the ability to deal with AM, specifically the Monkey. The problem is going to be Dreamocel's third item. When you get that, the Battle Fury, the Manta, the Abyssal Blade, all of a sudden you just pop right on top of one of these heroes, and you might even be able to straight up kill him yourself. They'll have, I imagine, some sort of initiation potential as well from either a Blinking Hyde or a Blinking LC from FBZ. So you're going to have plenty of options to get on top of these guys. There's not really any save outside of the Omni. In his game, 10-3 right now, but it's only going to get harder the longer he stays up here against AM.
Well, for now, at least he's holding his ground. Got double digits for CS to the 15-6. Khezcute, wall's going to come up. Brax, Purification will be enough damage to get the kill, but he's holding onto it for now and then seals the deal with it. I'll burn off the remainder of his mana, but this allows him to afford the Soul Ring thanks to getting that kill.
That is a huge pickup, as we said. You know, playing against AM now, you can just Soul Ring into an immediate heal.
FBZ. Shackle's going to hold him up there. MoOz actually started this off with that level 2 Boundless Strike, connecting in, and now a salve inside the trees. Legion Commander, a beautiful juke. A Hyde's coming in, and Avalanche trying to create some more space. FBZ didn't get that much of a duration of the salve off. MoOz was able to cancel it, so that's a pretty heavy hit to the consumables of 9. Yeah. On 11 HP, he dropped down to... Yeah, you keep running down Void Spirit, or else you're going to get killed off by Disruptor.
He's got a regen rune.
Yeah.
Get Mango. Oh, no!
No, he can't reach it. MoOz is able to get rid of it.
It's huge. And now because Mikoto's out of mana, it's going to be difficult for him to stay in this lane because 9 was able to salve up. That's what he makes you salve, but he's still so low.
Yeah, this just felt rough from both sides as far as the laning phase. The mid can live on a B-stick of life. MoOz is looking for, once again, some kind of influence in this lane.
Did you think it was
Good lane. Oh my god, 9 is just living on the edge. You know, this was the same in that TA versus Kunkka matchup. These guys just don't know when to quit. Mikoto's got a fairy and a stick. You should be okay.
This is a safety wand. It's actually... Oh, he's backing up so he can get the 5-minute bounty rune. So Snapfire will take the other, and Tiny actually managed to pick up the bounty rune as well. So okay, so there's no extra bounty rune for 9 to use. He decided to stay in the lane anyway. Well, Hex up. Attempt to punish Hyde for stealing their runes. He's still got 2 stick charges, and there's no glimpse leveled up, so they're not going to bring Tiny back. So All
And
that
some-
work from the two supports, and he creates space and gets money for it.
A little bit of misplay from Fear there, 9 as well.
Oh.
It gets caught by the patented, I'm level 5, nope, I just leveled up and you're dead. That Void Spirits, along with many other heroes in Dota 2, are often attempting. That's huge, because now you're 5.5 versus 6.5, and Mikoto is going to have a big lead on you. In fact, wow, 35-8
Look at
to
the
21-3, and the net worth,
The
yeah.
net worth is the hugest.
Oof.
That's 1,200 the difference between the
Nice.
two of them. You thought they were actually like a little closer than that, just with the way the lane's being played out.
Oh,
But
dude, Snag's going to die again.
Yep, too far out. Avalanche to start with. Toss him over into the Void Spirit. Spin him around. Cover him in purple. And Storm Spirit.
Oh, he needs that
one more
kill.
attack.
He needs the kill for 6.
got him.
Oh, we didn't get it. MoOz was there to have experience as well, otherwise I think he levels up and perhaps lives due to it, but alas, not the case.
At least he gets some money. That's one upside, but he's just feeding more over to the 3,000 net worth Void Spirit 6.5 minutes into the game. Gotta say, Legion's been doing, like, obviously not the greatest net worth, but it's the same as the Void Spirit. Behind that of the Omni Knight. But the two offlaners really making the best of a bad situation.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I mean, Brax actually doing, I thought he was just going to get absolutely murdered up here, but he'll have phase boots soon. Although I will say Dreamocel's been left on a bit more of an island than I would like. His supports have been moving around the map, notably to mid. So not really much he can do. Bottom, Moo able to do a little bit better against the LC left alone just because you have that range advantage. And now phase boots to go with it. Bottom, oh, Mikoto's here.
They really, they want to have a crack at this one. Monkey King. God.
Jeez. That hero, man. It doesn't feel balanced.
Oh, Kyle. Yeah, this is Dota.
I mean, I remember the days of my roots in Heroes of Newerth, where S2 Games had this strategy of releasing heroes for early access, so you could pay money to play it in the pool earlier than everyone else. They would release them broken, and then once they were given to the community, they would nerf them. So, imagine the outrage.
So, you know what I heard about this? Like the way some patching can sometimes get done in Dota. In order to get enough data to understand what is broken and what is not, you need to actually have things being a little bit more on the extreme levels. So a hero would be released broken, so they get more data to actually balance it. Of course, this is the one approach. The other approach, which I think actually what Riot admitted to, is they release a hero broken so people will buy the skins and access to the hero. And then you're able to make a hell of a lot of money because you can win games by actually playing this hero, and that's the reason why it got released broken.
You know, something about that wouldn't surprise me. I could see that.
Yeah. Lesson of how to inflate your own economy and your own income.
Sort of like, imagine if you were the lead administrator of the most popular Dota forum, and then you decided to shut it down, delete the history, and tell everyone to go play the new game you were working on, while also looting all the best hero ideas from a thread that now has no evidence that it even existed, because you've shut it all down. And imagine if your name was
Hello,
Pendragon.
goodbye, 9, back to the real game, and not living in the past, Kyle. That's
I'm
another
so upset that happened.
another
Man.
huge pickup from Void Spirit. That's now his 4th kill of the 5 of Booms. This Void Spirit, it's the same type of like momentum like carrier that they had in game 1, trying to have here in game 2.
Yeah. I mean, it
Like
feels
3. We're in 3.
TA seems like a loser, whereas this Void Spirit just consistently seems like a winner. He's getting jumped on middle. Might be in trouble, but he's got an ult charge.
Until the Disruptor actually has 6, it's nowhere near as problematic as I'm really uncertain about this attempt. Fear trying to get the outpost. The wall will come down. Does actually at least bring Hyde in, but now Void Spirit's going to join the fight too. Puts down 1, pulls on that off. There's 4 heroes from BA here to try and contest. It'll end up just being actually a 1-1 outpost, so everyone's got an outpost because Khezcute was able to get the Dire Jungle one.
Yep. And it looks like it'll be a 2-for-2 bounty as well. No surprise there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Legion's got Phase, Bracer going in for that Blink Dagger. That's a nice answer to a Storm Spirit. Someone who normally is never able to itemize against that like initiation control from a Legion commander. Meanwhile, AM's having the time of his life. He's free hitting a tier 1 tower with not a single person near him. While in mid lane, Mikoto is looking to solo 9 again. He's so low on life. Barely surviving, down
Dude,
to 21 HP thanks to stick charges. But on bottom lane, here we go again with the 4 heroes at BA teaming up to kill the Legion Commander. But to ask the question, space? Space?
I mean, you'll take it. Both these teams, they're very evenly matched, right? Net worth and also the way they're moving around the map, as Dreamocel is going to take top tower while MoOz is going to take bottom. And mid being pressure, though. This is the disparity. Mikoto so far ahead of the Storm, and now 9's going to go in, but is this a play you want to make, Bo?
Well, Storm comes down, but the wall doesn't come up in time from Disruptor. And trying to hide, Mikoto dodges up to the north and able to work around with this Snapfire. Give him a cookie, try and bounce him away, but 9, too quick. On the jump forward, toss back from Hyde with time to duel. It is Fear being trapped up. The Guardian Angel will give him that extra protection, so the duel will not be successful here from FBZ. And then again, you'll still find the kills. You come out for a 4-man overwhelming odds with that movement speed, killing off MoOz. The tier 1 towers are low as well with the Avalanche, a toss combination, almost killing the tower with a toss, a jump forward. It's just distraction one way or the other. Snapfire is caught on the wrong side of the tracks, and Monkey King will hunt him down. Get that kill. Meanwhile, AM farming jungle, pushing to the tier 2 tower up on top. So yeah, you'll get the kill over on Snapfire, but he's making you work for it. They need to deny that mid tier 1 tower as well. That's easy money for someone who can get close enough.
Yeah, but we'll see how this plays out. Animage typically will begin to farm significantly faster than this Monkey once he completes the Battle Fury, but it's the mid game of Moo that you got to be concerned about as Boom. We already saw there the GA early skilled up by Brax just to counter out the duel. Really nice play. And that's something we can expect to see continue. But again, Mikoto, hang on, the tower.
Disruptor's trying to deny it. 8 HP.
If only.
That is not enough. Mikoto, easy money.
Level 6 soon to come up on this Snapfire. 13 minutes in, that's quite a late timing.
Monkey's looking for a fight. Same thing for FBZ.
Yeah, but you know, there's really just nothing. There's no pressure at all on Dreamocel, man. He's just absolutely free farming. And you know, this.
Yeah, we know what happens when AM's free farm.
It just feels like I'd rather see Business play around the Animage, or rather play against him instead of trying to play around Moo. This is not a core matchup that you win in the late game. Monkey does.
They smoke, but underneath the Radiant Obs. That's problematic to say the least.
Yeah, Mikoto.
But you can go on mid lane. Hyde just uses combination. So Storm can ball lightning forward. Well, actually, they just glimpse him back. Vortex, not exactly required considering he was trapped inside the wall, and now, well, that's a good strike. But underneath the tier 1 tower, they don't know how much support's there, but 5 heroes from Business Associates underneath the tier 1 tower. 3-man hit by the overwhelming odds. Now with also the kisses, they're trapped inside with the Mass Serpent Ward. So Legion Commander is going to have a hard time getting away from this one. Snapfire's already down, Legion back to the tier 2, but a triple kill for 9. They bring 5 heroes, and it really pays off. But I'm looking at Dreamocel about to finish his Battle Fury, and we're 14 minutes in.
Boom, they read that perfectly. They don't take fight there. There's no way. You've got vision. You've had the creep wave cleared out by Hyde. It's a full HP tower. Let Tiny die, right? Who cares? Deep push the next wave of kisses if you want, but you can't go for a duel. You know there's going to be 5 heroes here, and you know, to your point, Dreamocel just wants Battle Fury. He's not going to get involved. They just threw away their bodies for nothing. Although I guess the ward's now positioned away from the tower, so they will be able to secure the objective. And they didn't lose the Void Spirit.
Tier 1 tower stays up. Animage is 200 gold away from Battle Fury.
Yeah.
And he'll pick up both the bounty runes up on top. He secures the outpost. It still doesn't feel like a bad thing. Like, yeah, boom, we lose heroes, but it feels like the OG kind of way of playing too. It's like, hey, we lost 3 heroes, but we still have a tier 1 tower. We still have our win condition, farming beyond all recognition. This still seems good.
Definitely. And you saw the tools there. What the game plan for Boom is going to be is kill the Omni, because there's no save for this hero. He will save his allies. Any one of them got jumped, but if you kill the Omni Knight, suddenly the fight is almost assuredly yours. And on Aquila, 6 seconds after it could spawn for the Animage, that is the dream.
He gets that. All right, sure, you'll take the Imp Claw as well. Jump yourself away. 15-minute Battle Fury for an anti-mage, and he went treads as well as having a race band. There's a couple of extra things.
You give the Imp Claw to the LC, as expected. Maybe the Void Spirit will take it.
Yeah, the Void Spirit has it, and he consumes the last part of the jelly.
Yep, that's solid.
Well, mid lane, jump forward, instant duel. And Brax, he'll have to trigger the GA, but you've got Mortimer's Kisses that Monkey King can't walk away from, is flying out to the back, but MoOz still enough life to survive thanks to the one charges. The toss back, maybe not the hero they were looking for, but they'll get fear anyway. MoOz still low on life, Brax giving him everything he's possibly got. And it ends up just being a 1-for-1 trade-off as Anti-Mage died up on the top lane.
Whoa!
He died. Oh boy, he died actually to the Disruptor. So Disruptor worked with the Storm Spirit because the Storm's not doing that by himself.
Can I just say, about time? 16 minutes in? Like, maybe we could consider trying to kill Dreamocel with our Disruptor and our Storm? Like, you just pop him, right? There's not really much he can do if you're quick.
TP's coming in. They're defending the outpost that's been stolen. Monkey King as well as Omni. It's going to be Shadow Shaman that arrives so far deep into Radiant territory thanks to that outpost. But look who comes back too. They have the Observer on the hill. So they see the Omni ready to fight, but they know there's no GA. This may give confidence for Boom to get in there. It's exactly what happens. They walk in close. You can de-ward the ward that started all of this, but with a toss back, Brax underneath the tier 2 tower, the duel is out. We have ourselves a winner for the first time.
You see the ward? That should be an immediate blink. That's the alarm.
You mean
the
behind,
fire alarm was
behind the tier 2 tower? Like, yeah.
Well, no, not that, but I mean, you see that they have vision of you, and you sit around trying to de-ward. When you see 3-4 heroes under tower, what's the play here? It's once again business associates. They get this lead, they get a positional advantage, and they just make these decisions that I'm not qualified to understand. Bottom, they're going to possibly get a kill on Hyde, indeed. Very squishy hero, even with the 10 armor from his ultimate. He will have a blink shortly, and this is where things get a little scary for BA, because then the Disruptor, the Shadow Shaman, these heroes are very squishy, and any bit of damage assist will take those down in a combo.
Fear. Well, he's come out. Hexes as well as Shackles over on Snapfire, and Dreamocel, he's walking away. They don't want it. It's like, no, we're not here to fight. We'll let him die. If a support dies, that's great, because 4 heroes reveal on top. Where does Dreamocel go instantly? Down to bottom lane. He's got a jungle to farm and a wave to push out.
He's going to stack the Ancients. Well done.
Easy money.
Essence Ring. Oh, man, they're getting such great items.
Good catch. Storm Spirit. Oh, be pushed away. Void Spirit needs more life. He has the Orc. He tried to put it to use, and Legion Commander can't get there in time for the press of the attack.
This is the Brax show so far. He has turned around 3 or 4 kills that became his kills.
Who wants to be part of this? Keeping the chase going on the Legion Commander. Manages to crack the 4 Jingu, and then with the Vortex, Legion Commander pulled back in once again. Into the wall, into the kinetic field. Can't go anywhere. Snapfire's not a healthy person either. Fear is chasing him, her, up on top lane. But Moo looking for his strike or quick little jump down. Just one attack will give Moo a double kill.
Beautiful. This is how business wants to play. Don't make these weird moves around towers. Just sweep the map constantly. You have Storm, you have Monkey King, you have Disruptor. Your cores have so much reach, and you have the only real save mechanic in the game. Sure, LC has a Dispel, but the GA threat prevents Boom from ever really trying to take that decisive 5-on-5 team fight. They need more time. They need this Mantle on the Anti-Mage, plus at least a Basher before they can even think about taking an engage. And again, if you don't kill Brax at the start, you are going to lose that fight.
And that won't happen until the Anti-Mage is stronger. Moo moving with Brax down to the bottom lane. Anti-Mage has been pushing it out. Tiny is hovering around here too. I think it's time, it is time to leave. And both will TP out well ahead of time. And hey, Anti-Mage, a creep wave pushing a tier 1 tower. What do? I TP up here. I move to the other side of the map. But Bloodstone timing for 19.5 minutes now for Storm Spirit. Easy progression for him. But it still feels like he needs also extra control against the Anti-Mage. It's not enough just to have, well, 1 level of control, because you still got to get around Spell Shield, right? This will work. Yule Scepter into Storm, into Wall, and Storm Spirit, long jump forward, Snapfire, tries to get him break free, but naturally, then again, the silence over on Storm Spirit. Did this feel like a trap? The duel is out over on Disruptor. Who was this trap really for? Was it Boom or was it BA?
That was great. You know that they're going to look to hunt in this area, much like they did a few minutes previous, and this time all of Boom is prepared. You know you can't take a fight, but you can expect the pickoffs, and they do just that, turning it around. Really well done. That is huge. Look at the AM's net worth all of a sudden, 2K ahead.
By far the first hero to crack that 10K mark. They'll take the tier 2 tower on the top lane, and AM doesn't want to really slow things down. This is how AMs have always loved to play, even in the early days of Dota 2. We take out the top safe towers for the Dire side, and then I sit inside the Dire jungle. I do not leave.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, Tobes.
This is, you know what, this is Loda. I always think of Loda whenever I see this, because he would always do this as Alliance.
No, I disagree. I think Boom's winning this game right now.
What? Oh, wow. Wow. Hey, Loda, that wasn't me. I'm just saying right now, that was not me. I defend your honor as a player. Hey, he's a TI winner. Who are you, Kyle? Who are you?
I'm just a guy talking about some Dota, Toby. I don't know why you want to put me down.
I'm just a guy standing in front of a game, asking it to balance me.
If that's what you say. And there's the Basher queued up by the Animage as expected. That's going to be the big timing, specifically the Abyssal. Because then suddenly Storm, disrupted these heroes have got to be fearful. And I'm not certain I like Nine's decision to go Kaya into the Bloodstone. If there was ever a game for the Abed, Kaya, BKB, or even
the TPing, and they want to try and fight this. Leech Commander is hiding in the tier 2 tower, like in the trees. Tiny's around the back too. Snapfire protected by the Glimmer. Avalanche, toss up. Monkey King still heavily protected. The tier 2 tower's been taken. Mikoto also here. So they were ready to fight if they had an opportunity, but in the meantime...
Oh, look top. This is the thing. The outpost TP. Void Spirit. There's no way Nine's going to suspect this.
Jump forward. Able to get the silence so quickly. Dreamocel needs to close the distance, and with the mana out, burn off, and just instantly hit him with the Void.
God, that was so sick. And there you go. There's the outpost control, right? That's huge. Really nice heads-up play by Mikoto.
And now they're going for Roshan. Perfect rune as well for, actually just smoke up from Tiny, having a Blink Dagger available. Because while Animage was actually farming the bottom lane and pushing the tier 1 tower, Tiny was farming up inside the Dire jungle, looking for that money to get the Blink Dagger, just to have that kind of power. This is such a nicely played game from Boom.
Yeah, it feels like that's been the story so far for them. And Mikoto definitely seems like he is...
Smoke, but it's too late.
Yeah. He's just so good on this Void Spirit, and you can see how much easier it is for him to have this high game impact in comparison to the TA. He has his own disables, he has his own lockdown. Whereas on the TA, he was just kind of forced to poke and prod, especially once his team fell behind. Oh, move!
Snapfire. Needs to get out of here as well. A quick little counter spell. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. The dust was brought this time around. Avalanche creating space for a little cookie jump. And BA, they really wanted to have this fight, like a double damage over on Moo. They wanted to get in there, but they needed to get in there like 10 seconds earlier. Now you go to your Scepter, yeah, Void Spirit. How do you lock him down?
That's a great question. I'd love to give you an answer, but
the one
so
doesn't
far,
exist.
Indeed, it's going to require some sort of initiation edge, but now you're at a loss of sorts, because once you lose map control with these Storm Monkey King heroes, this game's changed. Animage is a real threat now.
Jump forward. This is one way to try and grab him. Mikoto caught inside the storm. There's the Yor Scepter, sending him up towards the air. Press attack will not save him. Mikoto down for a minute. And looks like Legion Commander once again. The dust is brought. Revealed. Glimmer Cape can't protect him well enough, and Legion Commander will die underneath the tier 2 tower. A double kill now for Brax. And they can get a lot of map control back from this, but you've still got the time bomb. It's Dreamocel on bottom. He's hit 15,000 net worth in 24 minutes. Moo will arrive for the fight.
Tiny's here, though.
Yep, and Bash, sure, why not? Oh, Moo! Dodges with the mischief for a second. A blink forward from Dreamocel to try and ensure the kill. Means he's now on the other side of the tower.
Gotta be careful. These illusions are still very powerful.
Nine's chasing him. He's still got Aegis Immortal. Even if you kill him, he'll still turn around and have another crack at you.
He's just farming. He's like, all right, guys, whatever. Just farm top.
I'm under die vision. Don't
Deuces.
care.
Runes are about to spawn. He'll make sure that they're able to get the ones top. Yeah, like, no con. Dreamocel just playing like a beast. He understands. He's the win condition. He knows what his job is. Just trying to play mistake-free Dota 2. And I especially like how both of these teams, right? Yeah, we gave away Aegis, but Business Associates, boom, they make a play, catch Boom off guard, and then they get 2 kills. Bottom, yeah, you know that there's going to possibly be a defense. Monkey King thinks he can go toe-to-toe with the AM, but there's already 2 heroes set up behind him. This is just really nice play. And
It's time to duel. They would love to get 9.
Whoa.
He's going to chop in, but they don't want him. They started over on the Disruptor, and Chainstone will be easy enough. MoOz dead for 50 seconds.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The top lane was pushing in. That forced move to come back and defend it. Oop, don't leave that on the ground.
Just keep in mind, like, the problem, 9 has like all this gold, but can't actually play Dota in these fights in a 5-on-5. He has no way to remove the silence from the Void Spirit, and he has no way to actually lock anyone down with, say, an Orchid or a Hex. So, again, I just feel like if there was a game for Kyiv BKB, this was it. But he can't actually be that aggressor that his team needs him to, and he's falling off in the net worth because he can't save himself if he gets jumped on.
Middle tower has fallen.
He will be finishing a Yule soon, but again, what...
Anime just
That-
finished up an Abyssal Blade,
Yeah,
so who's really ahead here? He's
Exactly.
18, almost 19k net worth on the AM.
The problem is that you needed the Yules to deal with the Void Spirit deaths, but you didn't get it in time. So now you're an item behind, and by the time you're ready to survive from Void Spirit, it's the AM that's killing you. And at that point, Storm just feels very, very weak. And I'm not certain that he's going to be able to really have a game here.
Yep.
A Titan Sliver on the Animage as well. Some more status resist, magic resist, and the base attack damage. So sick on
And
a hero that's got such high agi game.
And the Crimson Guard's rapidly approaching for the Legion
Yeah.
Commander too, so like there's
He can't
more
be-
shields to work with.
He doesn't have GA, but he'll be as close to an Omni Knight as he can get in this game, which is really just his role. And again, Monkey King, excellent matchup against the AM, but not when you fall this far behind.
Do you just go up now?
Oh, hell yeah.
Like you send Dreamocel to the tier 3?
You got Aegis. For another 45 seconds, why not? You can get really aggressive here. He finds Disruptor, he finds Rasta. They've got a second or 2 to react to try and save him, or they get popped.
I remember Boom trying to do this in game 2 and it didn't go that well. Now we'll see how BA gets the defense out. Dreamocel, they're trying to save him for the moment. They would cookie jump him away, so no Storm out
GA.
from Disruptor, but AM right in the back lines on top of Disruptor. That Storm not really that effective, and now the Mormons Kids
Storm's
is
not here.
heavy damage from downtown. And where is the follow-up?
Where's the Storm?
That's a very good question. He is there. He's fine. He's there. Just wasn't ready for the fight time.
They got the GA, though, which means that, yeah, they're just going to go back in with the duel if they can. Oh, I thought he was had to blink, but he doesn't.
No blink, no blink.
I
Remember,
thought, he was,
he's,
oh, no,
he's
no, no, I
going
thought Tiny
aura.
was going to blink in, toss him back, get the duel. There's no save. That could be a kill, but
Nice save.
BKB Animage, I think is what you're waiting for if you're Boom, because then all of a sudden you actually don't have an answer for him.
But you're seeing Disruptor trying to keep up. Like he's trying to get to that Aghanim
Yeah,
Scepter.
Aghanim is the answer.
And that's what gave BA, I think, their second wind in game 2. And now they get the long jump over towards Tiny. This is the power of 9's Storm Spirit to get that long jump, and he needs the charges. And he's also going for an Aghanim Scepter build up too. They need more AoE control. Another long jump, getting very close to Snapfire, but protected by that Glimmer Cape.
Look at the warding, though. This is so sick from Boom. They're going to have lots of control. Roshan isn't an objective yet, so they're just trying to hunt. 20 seconds on the Tiny, but if they find somebody unsuspecting, they could look for engagement. They know GA is still on cooldown. 1 more minute before that's active.
You also know AM can just piss off and go bottom lane, which is exactly what he's doing. I'm just going to push this in, go to the tier 3 tower. BA, if you want to stick around, go for it. But you'll have to send at least 2 people back. That's almost a level 25 AM who has Abyssal Blade completed. You need at least 2 heroes to defend this. Meanwhile, Monkey King getting caught out. Taunted, silenced, dueled, stun controlled.
Orchid on the
all
back.
the damage they've got to kill him off. Fear also unable to get in the lines, and MoOz caught out too far on the wrong side. Brax will complete his TP out to safety. No one there to stop that.
That
but
was
3 heroes down, and
perfect.
a courier with a gem on the run.
Every player, right? The ward placed on the high ground sets up the fight.
Get it. Hoi! Gem lost.
They toss back, they get the kill, and then the Omni gets orchided by the Void Spirit as the AM immediately bounces on top of Fear to prevent any sort of Glimmer or Hex support. 3 heroes, Courier, tier 3, maybe a Rax, maybe the game.
Radiant's top tower is under
That's so costly for Monkey King to buy it back. Vortex, Avalanche able to catch out too. GA does come out. Dreamocel still low on life, but the Mana Void! It's so hard. Storm was bone dry. Hell, the spill damage. Moo, at least he can get something in return. Moo battling underneath the Wukong's command. And Boom done it again. Drop the mic and die into the tier 3 tower. Business Associates keeping the chase going. They want to get this kill over on the Void Spirit, and they're going to get it as well. Moo going beyond huge. That Mindbreaker couldn't have come in at a better time, and boom, ultra kill for the Monkey King.
Unfortunately, it feels like this is sort of the tale of the tape for Business Associates. The only player I see that really shines like this seems to be Moo. And there you go. He buys back, finds 4 kills, just straight up going toe-to-toe with the Animage, no panic. But yeah, like we need more. We need somebody else to step up like he just did for them to take this game. They buy a little breathing room, but still 2K gold lead for Boom. Although, you know, I take that back. Maybe that is enough. We'll see. You're gonna have a butterfly soon on this Animage, it looks like. Or rather, sorry, the Monkey King. And the level 25 is the big one. And that should be a lesson learned for Boom here. Do not fight into Wukongs under any circumstances.
Yeah, they definitely gave Business Associates something to work with, but it really just levels things.
Yep.
And it's almost around the same time. We're like 5 minutes earlier than we were in game 2 for that type of swing.
Yep, 30 seconds to Roche, and that is going to be the answer.
Let's watch that fight again.
So here's the thing. What it is the GA, and the GA is really what Boom shouldn't be fighting into. But then there's GA and Wukong, so Moo's still not taking damage. And then when he starts to, it's like, oh wait, I have lifesteal all of a sudden because I got procs while you were hitting me and I was invulnerable, and then everyone dies. Really nice chase though to be able to finish off this Void Spirit. Jukes jumps over the purple orb, and yeah, not so pleased with that push. Is the Radiant side, and Roshan spawned up. That's the fight. This is where the game will be decided. GA on cooldown another 20 seconds. But this time it's the warding from the Dire side of Business Associates that could give them a little bit of an edge here as they look to posture and poke around that big boss in the middle.
And who gets the jump? Or who just goes back to farming? This is an AM game after all, and yeah, he's pretty far up, but do we start reaching a point of diminishing returns as well on the farm and the AM? Like, has he already lost his power spike?
Not yet. But
I know I'm saying this when he's still like 7,000 net worth ahead.
This is the thing. Look at the item. Monkey King has the butterfly.
So you need to get an MKB then, right?
But you don't really want to get one. This is the thing. This is where Monkey AM wins this matchup when he's ahead by that item or two into the mid-late game. However, as we get later and later, Monkey King at a point will crush you. You can never go toe-to-toe with him once he catches up to you in terms of actual items acquired, not net worth. And right now, it's 4 big items for the Monkey King and 4 big items for the Animage. His extra net worth notwithstanding.
I suppose you can try and play the side lane split push game as well, but then you're up against a Storm Spirit. Fantastic at hunting, Disruptor fantastic at punishing. But then...
Ooh, no one has a Vlad's on this Radiant team. I'd like to see someone pick that up ASAP. They are at a big disadvantage in terms of the support items. They don't have a... They do have a Glimmer, they have a Force, that's nice, but you know, they're up against a Pipe, a Vlad's. They don't have anything
like
to
the Glimmer
match.
is definitely paid for itself,
Oh,
and,
for sure.
and the Force is trying to get him away from Shadow Shaman too.
Yeah, it's
because he keeps ward trapping.
FBZ is going to have to try and take that out next, but you know, at the same time, maybe you'd like a blink at some point on this LC, just so you could land those duels a little cleaner, especially because you need to get this Omni if you want to win the fight. Roche up, looks like it's go time. Wukongs and GA prepared.
They're checking.
Boom want to poke, get those big ultimates, then re-engaged as bottom is pushing in. Fear's ready to split push.
Yep.
This is the Jimmy special.
Sorry, there's no tight hunter with Bottle right now. But look how fast AM cleans things up too. But Legion Command is also here. So the Radiant scan, they see them go inside the pit. Thanks to that scan.
It's the right play though. You need LC behind your AM just in case he's getting hunted. Crimson is Disruptor.
Crimson is totally up. They see the Dire Observer Ward too. Smoke on the Void Spirit. They're very close. Roshan down to 2,000. The Spirit jumps in, pulling back Moo. And then the Storm, they're just babysitting, they're protecting with the Master Open Wars down 2, but the backline, the jump in, they're going up Dreamocel. They're going to burn off all of his mana. 9, has he got enough? Yes! Dreamocel can bring him down. Of course, the Aegis Immortal is picked up by Moo into the big hands of the 10-4-6 Monkey King. But they want to keep the battle going once again into the Wukong's command, and everybody out. Let the Void Spirit die. And the duel over onto the Disruptor instead. So a 2-for-1 trade-off. But those two heroes which are dead for BA do not have buyback available.
So frustrated, they learned from it. Business associates, yeah, we're going to secure this Roche, not get owned in the pit like we did in the previous game. We'll drop the Disruptor ult. But 9 makes the decision like a 4 and just stands up on top of the pit like, oh, what could possibly happen to me? And just gets killed because his teammate is in the, like, what?
Yeah, because AM jumps him, has Abyssal Blade stun control, and you get the Sorcerer because he's got nothing to protect him. He went Aghanim Scepter, he's got a 5 Bloodstone charge at the moment, so you know you're going to get that mana burn. It's problematic to say the least. And then they had nothing left to really defend with after that point, but it's also great play from BOOM. They're able to play around the Monkey King. Monkey King goes this way, we go the opposite direction. Someone's in there, it's a call, we don't care. Let him die. And here it is once again.
He just, you don't see it, but he literally, as Roche is at 10%, he zips to the left and stands still, as if to say, hey guys, try and kill me. But he's not a Centaur. He's not a Huskar, he's a Storm. And yeah, you might not take damage, but the mana burn, to your point, you're still gonna get popped. They turn around, but they get this turnaround thanks to the Wukongs, but still, what could have been a decisive victory ends up shaky. You have the Ags on Storm too. I'd like 9 to be that counter-initiation threat. You're playing against 0 BKBs. One big grip, especially if the Disruptor's prepared, that could just straight up win you the game.
Monkey's on the hunt, looking for a hero. If he bounces up into the trees, you'll probably see Hyde so close, yet so far away, and Hyde should count his lucky stars. The Monkey was not in range. Back out to safety and wasting more time with this Aegis for the Immortal. But if you're BA now, like you've got this Aegis, can you push something with it? Can you make something of it? Like, can you just push bottom lane and try and take that tower?
I mean, you can't bake a cake, but you can probably try and threaten high ground. The question is, are you... What?
Nothing. Nothing.
You can try and poke. The thing is, your Storm can't get jumped. The problem with this business associate team, they don't have a frontliner, right? No one can actually get jumped. You don't have what we always theorize as, like, you know, the lasso taker, right? Like the Viper, the Razor, just kind of runs in, yeah, come get me, guys, it's fine, my team will play around me. All of them want to be elusive. It's Moo, who's both the sole damage dealer and now apparently the frontliner too. He's so close to level 25. Maybe he wants to finish that off before they take this fight. We will see. BOOM is not set up. They're already on the high ground.
No, I think they're trying to get the butterfly money in for the anti-mage first before they take this fight. And he will actually buy it. Buyback, however, he's short by 1,200, so they cannot afford to lose the anti-mage during this fight, or else maybe Business can do some more work. Legion Commander, nice little cookie away, but glimpse back into the wall, waiting for that Storm ult when he hasn't dropped it just yet. Legion Commander dropping so low, 15 one-shots, buy the extra space and the avalanche shots combo, but the back lines, once again, Dreamocel find the target he's looking for. One of the supports, one of the controllers, using the BKB timing now to attack in towards the Monkey King and then disengage. They don't want to have this full fight just yet. Void Spirit, push him away with a 4-star, buy that extra space again. And they're keeping the Monkey King away from objective-based gaming, keeping him low on mana. But he's still got the Aegis the Immortal. Gets that first little hit, Legion Commander, long jump in from 9, putting that Aghanim Scepter to work. But has he got enough damage to still get through the Legion Commander? Moo does. Now he's back to fighting once again, but Dreamocel fighting the back lines also. Once more, hits the bash over from Disruptor. He'll get that Aghanim's ulti down, but he's been pulled back in once again while Spitfire for a very, very long way away. And the duel, Omni Knight, he's already used the G8. They don't have that extra level of protection. A nice little cookie stun, and with the Mana Void, that lower cooldown time, he's already got it ready to go. Moo will fall. 5 heroes from BA have been cracked, and they'll have to do it again, once again on Moo, as he comes back to life again, but control factors are all there. Dead for 2 minutes, buyback is available, but look how quickly Void's moving straight towards the top lane. They want to keep the pressure on BA.
Just, you know, it comes back to you're fighting in the enemy base, right? You get the LC through the pipe, through the Crimson, he just has an immediate buyback, doesn't care. The re-engage, yes, it's like, what's Nine's impact on that fight, right? He got a couple nice pulls off, but every time, immediately, Mikoto's there on the Void Sport, gets the Orchid, forces the Yules, and then Nine has to retreat out of the fight. Sure, Moo, no one can go toe-to-toe with him, so they just kill his entire team, and then look to go for him. Really nice micro by Dreamocel, also sending the Manta Illusions onto the Omni during the duel to ensure that kill lands, because once you take out Brax, that's going to be the fight. It's exactly what went down.
And into the high ground they go. Dreamocel hitting the tier 3 tower. They got the creep wave with them. A buyback from a Monkey would be great. They're going to have to use that anyway, but they don't want to use the buyback on a Storm Spirit. 18 seconds. It's not just the money, it's the fact that he won't have it to defend inside the base. They have to let the mid-racks go. No other choice. They cannot fight for another 6 seconds.
Dreamocel as well. He's done such a great job to your point. He kills Fear at the start of the fight, resets, then he gets MoOz, forces out the ultimate, survives.
Now, ulti time.
Hold
MoOz.
up.
Yeah, oh, wait. Where's the glimpse? Where's the pull?
He didn't Yules. He had to pre-Yules.
He didn't. So they're away. And you brought back on the Monkey
goodness,
King.
Not a Prince's Knife.
It's a Prince's Knife.
You now don't even need to Abyssal. You just blink Manta, you're going to Hex, then Abyssal. Anti-Mage can 100-0 pretty much everybody. And, oh my goodness, no. 9 killed his mango tree.
Wait.
Deforestation is such a problem. We can't afford to
Because he
lose
pulls
these.
lightning through it.
I mean, unfortunately, I don't think that is...
The best position.
Well, it doesn't. It's not really that important, but
Because no
still.
one can hold mangoes. There's no item slots for him.
God, shout out. I mean, Dreamocel, really, this Boom team, very streaky. They make some mistakes here and there, but you can see that the individual talent is there. There's a reason they were able to take out TNC on their road to this event. Those are major winners.
Not just major when it's like TNC is #1 in the DPC points right now. By 220, VG Gaming is nipping on the heels.
And as Confucius would say, we'll wait and see.
Dire are scanning.
I'm sure there's like so many things in life that you want to be quoted for, and that's it.
No, not that one. I got a few others that I'd rather put on the...
Well, jump forward. Disruptor being caught out. It's a Dire Observer and Sentry that's down, but 9 jumps in, able to get that ultimate over on the anti-mage. No BKB up, but the Storm, it just does not last long enough. And the jump into the backline Sphere, keeping really great control on Dreamocel, but it's still not enough. Now he goes over towards 9. They try and glimpse him away. One more Mana Void will actually end up killing up the Storm Spirit and get the spell damage over towards Moo. And Monkey King will be tested hard and brought down. 2 minutes on the sideline. Buybacks coming thick and fast from BA. Fear is like, please just look at me. Don't look at the rest of my teammates. But they're going to kill him off. Dreamocel with a double kill. And 9. Oh boy, he got caught in the avalanche. He's down as well. The 2 big cores are gone. And that should seal the deal with Boom taking game 3, eliminating Business Associates as the first team out in this StarLadder minor.
It's got to sting. BA investing in themselves, boot camping pre-tournament, as you said, the first team eliminated, but shouts to Boom. I don't think that they need to hold their heads so low. It wasn't as if they came in and got rocked by an inferior team. Boom is the real deal, and Dreamocel specifically just playing like maybe not S tier just yet, but at least tier 1. An incredible Anti-Mage performance, a hero that we saw lose every single game in that grand final of the previous major, even with legends like Arteezy and Matumba Man on it.
Yeah, but Boom seemed to do it in like game 1, game 3. This PL, this Anti-Mage, it's just like, we understand what our win is, and we can play around this, and we accept what we have to lose to make it work as well. And maybe back to your point as well, like BA, what do they take from this? Like how do they get better for the next round? Do you start to think like, how do I get my objectives? Yeah, you had that fight around the mid tower. You didn't even take the tier 1 tower after it. Like, well, how do you take that advantage that they can sometimes get and actually turn it into some kind of big victory?
Well, I believe they go up to play against Alliance next, right?
No. Well, Boom is out.
Oh, I thought you were
That's
asking.
it. They're gone. Like Boom will play up against forZe next.
Interesting.
forZe.
I would definitely favor Boom after watching them play. I think that if anything, their weakness might be the drafting, and really just maybe having stuff that's a little too greedy. You look at a team like Alliance as an example; they'll just beat you in the mid game for real.
Yeah,
you're not going to get the luxury of having a free 30 minutes to farm. Answer your question about Business Associates, I have some pretty strong opinions of what I think they should do. But I'm not going to state them.
Okay, wonderful. That's going to be for that DNM with Jimmy a little later on. And Panda Hat comes off, Serious Hat comes on. Because they will...
Does the Serious Hat come on?
Well, a Serious Hat will have to come on because they need to think about it. They've got some time at least until the next round of DPC. So,
but not much, man. And this team does not look like a team that was top 6 at a major only 3 or 4 months ago. They have some serious work to do and really just have to shore up the weaknesses, notably their mid-game communication and the way they play around objectives. They sometimes just take their foot off the gas for reasons unbeknownst to me. And in general, they've got to find their identity because right now it looks like they're still searching.
Well, let the search continue for them, but of course let the tournament continue for BOOM. They progress through into the next round.
It is Black Friday here in Kyiv, and the market has crashed. The NA Squad Business Associates top 6 finishers earlier this season at the Chengdu Major are the first team out of 8 headed home from this event. Winner, Lizard, let's start with the early game because we worried at the end of the draft when we saw that AM pick how the lanes were going to go, but it seemed like BOOM were able to get exactly the lane matchups that they wanted.
Oh, I'm starting to feel like the Void Spirit could just still be a first pick hero.
Yeah.
He's been winning all the games, and it seems like every time I feel like, he might have a hard lane, but then he still gets a decent laning phase.
I think you're thinking about Ember Spirit and Monkey King if you're countering him. Storm Spirit, they picked it into the Void Spirit, but he didn't do anything. He got crushed on that lane. He was doubled his net worth around 5-minute mark. That's not something that should happen there.
And what a redemption arc, right? Because it was Mikoto with the big unforced error, the solo death in game 2 that really set the tone and gave BA a big early game advantage. He was flawless mechanically early on in this one.
Yeah, he was flawless. He was doing so many things across the map. Like you could see later on with some pickoffs, he goes onto the Monkey King, but he silences the Omni Knight that's around. Overall, like
very good at clicking buttons.
Very good at clicking buttons.
Are you surprised they didn't try to swap the lanes?
I think they couldn't really swap after they went to the lanes. They just felt like if they TP, the other team would just TP. And I talked to you a little bit about because the AM was on the long lane, so he can't really hit the Omni Knight so much. So maybe they felt like, sure, it's not the best matchup for Omni, but he probably could deal with it. And he actually dealt with it. He wasn't far behind from the laning phase itself.
I think the lanes were not great for Business Associates, obviously, because of the way mid lane went. But overall, it's not where the game was won or lost. Both of these teams had, yeah, they had multiple chances at taking the game later on, and they're really evenly matched, I should say as well.
I think it has been the battle of the supports in the early game. Like we saw a lot of really good plays from the Tiny, setting up kills, and he's also dying for the team a lot. Like he's pushing out the lanes where no one wants to go, and even though he died to the smoke gangs or whatever, I think he doesn't really mind. He's like making space for the AM all the time.
Hyde is the new one on BOOM as well.
Yeah,
right?
he's the latest addition.
Exactly, and he's been on point. Like his positioning as well in many of these ganks. Like remember that tier 1 attempt to go on the anti-mage by Monkey King? Instant response by the Tiny to go in. And
yeah,
well, so much of the tone, though, of the game, as you see, was set by these 2 big high ground defenses. Business Associates get an ultra kill turnaround from the Monkey King in the top lane, defending their base early on. And then you just saw that the Business Associates, they have some communication issues, Kyle suggested toward the end of the cast. And I think you may have seen those in that Radiant base push a minute ago.
Yeah, that Radiant push was a little difficult for them, and perhaps they were too eager to go and just take the Raxes. Look at those emotions. That's good for him.
That's the guy I wanted to report.
Yeah.
No Vlads, no Solar Crest.
It worked out, though. The Crimson Guard worked
He
out.
knew better. But yeah, Vlads and Solar Crest definitely would have helped out the anti-mage a lot. He went for what, Crimson and Pipe instead on the Legion Commander?
Yeah, and he couldn't buy anything anymore after that.
Yeah, after that you're pretty much done.
Every bit of resource you have on the off lane at the moment, it's very, very crucial that you choose your items wisely, because you're not going to get so much gold anymore towards the game.
I was wondering about this because, you know, Monkey King looked like it looked like when AM first got his basher and the Tiny and the AM got a kill on the Monkey King at the bottom dire tier 1. It looked like Monkey King might be behind, but he kept up with that anti-mage in terms of his ability to man fight for most of the game.
Yeah, you know why? He had a Vlads on his team.
Fair enough.
He had the Vlads and he had a team that's way more active, and they were also a team that played together all the time. If you're BOOM, you're pretty much a split pushing with AM, while the rest of them, the 4 of them, are trying to make some plays and
yeah,
to
like what
delay
Carl
the
mentioned,
game,
you sweep the map, you clear the creep waves. Yeah, sure, you're gonna have some casualties. Someone's gonna die somewhere. As long as it's not anti-mage, you're happy.
That's one of the reasons why Legion was so under-farmed. She's playing with these 2 cores. You have Void Spirit and you have anti-mage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also always following the AM when AM TPs to...
And you got 2 supports that clear creep webs really fast, so you're not going to be the one getting that farm.
Sometimes when you're the offlane and you have a core that can't really escape from ganks, you can justify out-pushing the wave because no one else can. But when you have a Void Spirit and an anti-mage, they're going to always do it, and you're going to end up being very poor.
I thought that was actually a really nice part of the BOOM lineup, that all five of their heroes had really good wave pushing potential. And so as the game went on, they played the map very well. They had a very good vision game, and they were the ones dictating where the fights were happening.
You could see the way they rotate from one side of the map to the other with their supports, which allows the supports to just take objectives. And when I mean what I mean by objectives is these hills, these parts of the map where it's crucial for them to plant the ward so that anti-mage can be ganked from I don't know, any given side.
I mean, it was still a very close game though. Like,
Absolutely.
BA could have won the game if they played certain fights a little bit better.
So let's start talking about where we go from here, because as you see on the screen, the brackets, BOOM do survive. Business Associates are out of the tournament. BOOM will play in the decider match later today against forZe, the surprise CIS team from yesterday that pulled the upset over Business Associates. And once again, you see the other side of the bracket. We're waiting on No Ping and KheZu, who will open the first game of our second series of today. Guys, final thoughts for these two teams. Where do you think the casters got into this a little bit at the end, but if you're Business Associates, you're looking at the success that you had early on in the season, where do you go from here as a team?
It's difficult, right?
Move to another business, I guess. They have to fix the problems that they have, the underlying problems within the composition. I feel like they need to maybe draft in a way that allows, I think 9 is the guy that he probably would be the win condition hero. I think he's the most suitable one because Moo plays more like a supporting role on the carry.
You know, he says this, but at the same time, I know which hero 9 plays a lot, and it's usually your playmakers.
That's why the composition is not balanced.
Yeah, composition isn't balanced, and that forces you to think about possible reshuffles or something like that. Hopefully, we'll see the boys stick around a bit longer because they definitely do have a lot of skill and potential.
Agreed. Well, we are going to get to talk about BOOM again later today, so we'll leave it at that. We're going to take a quick break here ahead of our second series. Stay right there.